Yeah, g'day. I'm Luke Barrowcliffe. My traditional name's Kalula Bird, and that relates to my totem and also our southern country, which is the Kalula National Park area. That automatically gives me some roles and responsibility as an individual to look after those things. Our traditional homeland is Gurry, Fraser Island. This trip with the University of Queensland has been exemplary. The fact that we've been invited here to be with the group to make sure that the group gets an understanding of our history and culture and our places of significance. We are lucky in terms of the fact that we still have a lot of our creation stories. They've been stored within publications, and we're able to rely on them to continue to tell our story and share our history and culture. The story of Gurry is essentially our primary creation story, and it talks about how our higher God sent a couple of his spirits down to make the landscape, the land that we know as Bachelor Country. It's been a real privilege for me in the fact that the group's been so open and willing to learn about our history and culture, but also take on board some of the things that come from our creation stories. I can only imagine that it's also enriched the groups being here as well, because you get a whole nother world view on this beautiful landscape. Although we've got our native title rights and interest back in 2014, which was a long-winded legal struggle, native title is not land rights, so we don't actually gain any access to our land in terms of being able to develop somewhere and build a house on it and live on country again. That native title ends up just being another series of ongoing negotiations with the stakeholders. At the end of the day, it comes down to their goodwill to want to work with us. The tourism industry on the island is one of the biggest in Queensland, the biggest in Australia. It's definitely an area that Bachelor people are going to move into in future, and although they try to impart some knowledge about Bachelor history and culture, they're not Bachelor people, and what they do tell is from early records, but it's sort of a bit funny hearing traditional knowledge come from a non-Indigenous person who's professing to almost be an expert in it. I'm a very optimistic person, and I know we're going to get to a stage where we obtain everything we've been fighting so hard for. A lot of our elders have died along this journey, and it's become up to the younger generation to pick up the baton and continue the fight for our mob. And my main aspiration as a director on the Butcher Aboriginal Corporation is that our people will have the opportunity to live on country again and be here working. You know, the country talks to us all the time, and our spirits and our ancestors are also looking for the day when we're all back here together.